Hey guys, welcome back. It's not your fault. This is Yankee Jeff. This is a reaction to soft white underbelly. I've got lots of people in the comments asking for more soft white underbelly reactions. So this is Melissa's story about her battles with methamphetamine and fentanyl. So like and subscribe. Please leave a comment at the end. Let's give these people the respect that they deserve because all they need is our prayers.
All right, Melissa.
Yeah.
Melissa, where are you from originally? Where did you grow up?
Montebello, California.
Tell me about your family. You had both your parents?
No, my mom abandoned me and my brother when I was about 2.5 years old. She left us with our dad, and my dad couldn't take care of us, so my grandpa came over all the way to Riverside to pick me and my brother up and took us home. My dad was abusive to my mom, and my mom, I guess she couldn't take it no more, and being that she was young, she didn't want to have responsibility with children, and so she just left. She took off. She took all the money in the house. She took the car. She just left and never came back. I saw her recently, in 2010. I went over to Las Vegas to go visit her, and I ended up staying with her for about a month, and she kicked me out of the house. She thought I was on drugs and stuff, and I wasn't. I was actually clean and sober. I had a job, and she basically just I guess she couldn't deal with the fact that I was being nice to her after all those years of her not being around, and she just decided to kick me out of the house. And that's when I kind of started to become homeless. I ended up prostituting out there in Las Vegas, and I got raped and ended up having to come back to California. I stole a car and I came back over here. So yeah, it was my grandfather. Well, I had a step grandmother because my biological grandmother, she passed away when she was 34.
Wow.
It was all right, but then my step grandma, she left, and that's when kind of everything went bad, sort of. I ended up getting taken out of the care of my grandfather and put with my aunt because of child abuse that happened. But it wasn't really even nothing. It was just my grandpa just slapped my brother on the face and left a mark, and the teacher took it out of blew it out of proportion, and we ended up moving with my aunt, and that's when I got molested and over there in her care by my uncle. And I never knew what child molestation was until I was about 14, and then that's when I was just I wanted to say something so bad, but I didn't. It was just because if I knew I told my grandpa would be in prison. Yeah, I was there up until I would say until before I started.
I'm not being disrespectful. I'm looking up certain things that are allowed to be said on YouTube. I'm hoping that this doesn't get blocked because I really want to make sure her story is told. So she's talking about some very serious things, and YouTube has certain words that are triggers and that they'll immediately block the video. So let's make sure that we're not breaking any boundaries here, breaking any rules.
Before I started high school, and when we came back to my grandfather's house, that's when I was I wasn't doing all right. I was just kind of running away from the home, ditching school, not even trying up until maybe my junior year, I would say. Yeah, my junior year. That's when I kind of I got taken out of regular high school, got put into continuation because I got into a fight. I was doing good. I did good. I graduated on time. I know after I graduated high school, I went to join the military. I ended up joining the Marines, but I got pregnant with my son, so I couldn't go to boot camp. And ended up having my son at 19. But after I had my son, not that long ago, I got pregnant with my second son, and my grandpa passed away. So when grandpa passed away, that's when kind of everything went bad. My aunt, I remember my aunt telling me, and I had my son early. I ended up having my son 3 days after my grandpa passed away. She was I hope you and your kids, I hope you don't think you're gonna be living in this house with you and your kids. I'm what the hell? How are you gonna, man. How are you gonna kick out your own niece? Knowing I had nowhere to go. I couldn't take my older son with me to New York because a custody between me and the dad, and So I had to leave him in California. And then when I moved to New York with my second oldest son's dad, everything's fine up until I get a phone call from my dad telling me that his grandma is trying to get complete custody of my son. And I'm like, oh shit. So I ended up having my brother bring my son to New York. And so she's calling, like, his grandmother's calling the cops and everything. And it's either I brought my son back to California or I was gonna get arrested for kidnapping. So I take my son back to California to his grandmother. And since that time, I didn't go back to New York. I ended up staying in California and being like homeless. I was like going from place to place. It was crazy. It was like all bad.
It's sort of like a mouse in a maze, just searching for the cheese. You go around this corner, that corner, there's a block. And this is what ends up happening with a lot of addicts and alcoholics is it's just one bad decision after another. And before you know it, you're with 2 kids, custody battles, homeless. And it's just so sad. It's just so sad. And she hasn't even gotten to her addiction just yet. I mean, this is Mark's being the author of this, the narrator of this Soft White Underbelly, Mark Beta. He does a masterful job of being very patient and being very patient with them tell their story. But this is really heartbreaking. Let's get back into it.
Than what I've been through, you know. And he was in the Navy. He volunteered for the Navy. That's how he got his citizenship. He was an immigrant. He came from Mexico, and he lost his mom at 7 years old. He lost his mom. She died, and so he came over here to California, from Texas to California, with his dad, and they were like migrant workers, seasonal workers and stuff. And he did the orange groves, picked cherries. He did all that, and he used to have a shoe shine stand over right there in front of Macy's Plaza. He would shine shoes. He went to school, but he didn't graduate. He didn't graduate. He used to be a cross country runner for the high school, but he didn't graduate. It's crazy. It's like, I don't know, my life, my appreciation for life is like I love life, but at times it's like there's days where I just like, I don't know, like I'm just like thinking like what's this world coming to sometimes, you know? Like not everybody has like, you know, the moral values, you know, like they used to back then. It's crazy. But I'm grateful for having him in my life though. You know. He taught me.
Where do you stay now?
I stay right here at the Continental with a friend. Well, I've been homeless. I've been down here since like 2011.
A long time.
Yeah. And then six of those years was with some jerk who abused me. I had 2 children with him, well, my 2 younger sons, and we were homeless for quite some time. Been homeless, like, I mean, I've been back and forth here and there, but then I had gotten an apartment on my own recently at the Madison and ended up like losing the apartment because my year lease was up, and then not only that too, my caseworker kind of messed up my pilot program thing, and I don't know, so, but I just like let it go, so I was like, whatever, it's all right, and then I became homeless again, and been here and there at friend's house and stuff, but this time, like, you know, thankfully for, you know, my friend or whatever, that, you know, I got a place to stay and shit, so I'm grateful for that. I actually work for DoorDash. But like I need to get a bike though, cause it's hard like walking and stuff like that, you know, cause like I have like a spinal condition and stuff. So I'm just like trying to make sure I don't like, you know, aggravate it any more than it already is.
What is your drug?
I do crystal meth. Yeah, I smoke and I inject too. It's been I started actually doing crystal when I was like 14. I was 14 and I got hooked ever since then. That's crazy.
Have you ever been clean?
I've been clean for like when I was pregnant with my kids, except for one. Well, actually 3 of them. I was still doing dope when I was pregnant with 3 of them.
Oh no.
As far as like having like a long period of time, I think the longest I went without dope was maybe about 2 years.
You know, we spend so much money in this country trying to facilitate the drug use, giving addicts and alcoholics free this, free that, free. There was a commercial on years ago when I was very, very young, back before electricity, and it was, we're not asking for a handout, just a hand. These people just need a hand. Build more hospitals, build more recovery centers, handing out money to addicts to buy more drugs or needles and places where they can go shoot up. Stop supporting the habit. Try and get these people well. We spend billions of dollars in this country, the most ridiculous things, help and support wars all around the world. What if we took that money and focused here on the drug use in this country? We could probably lick it in a year. I guess there's no money in that. I don't know. It's sad to watch this because she seems like a really sweet person. Let's get back to it.
I thought I had like peed on myself, but it wasn't pee. It was like, you know, the baby of the miscarriage. Yeah. And I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I couldn't go nowhere for like almost like a week because, you know, he had us like cooped up in there, like holding me hostage and shit. And finally, when somebody came to check on us, like he opened up the hatch and I was able to, you know, get the fuck out of there. And I left, but I was like, when I got into my friends, I had started bleeding and I was like, I didn't know what was really going on. And I was like, that's crazy. I was no more than like about a month pregnant. And when I went to my friends, I was gonna go pick up some crystal or some dope. And I went over by Alvarado, MacArthur Park area. And as soon as I sat down on the sidewalk, all the blood just started like going down the sidewalk and stuff. And I was like, wow. Somebody called the paramedic for me. And there was this little girl. She was so calm. She was like telling me, she's like, it's okay. You know, she was like no more than like 7 years old. And I was like, she's like, it's okay. She said, don't worry. And I was like, oh my God. And all I could remember was just trying to stay awake. And when the paramedic got there, she was like smiling. She was like waving like bye. I was like, oh wow. It was like I was like, wow. I was like, and crazy thing is like the paramedic, they took the scenic route. So it was like, I guess they were trying to like not have me panic. So I was just like kind of like, you know, they turned off the siren and everything and they were like, you know, coasting all the way to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, that was like the worst experience ever in my life. The ER doctor, not cool. He like, you know, it's like an instrument like about this long and it's got a razor at the tip and it's a vacuum. So, and it's like this long extended hose all the way to like this thing where it looks like a blender. It's so messed up. It's just going like, you know, carelessly going in and out. He cuts me and I'm like, when he's done doing whatever it is that he was doing, the nurse, she like pulls me to the side, like, you know, like in the bed or whatever, pulls me to the side. I'm like laying there and then all of a sudden I feel like this gush of like blood like come out from like, you know, and when I call the nurse, she like lifts up the blanket and she looks and she's like, it looked like my intestines were coming out of my, you know, and I was like, oh shit, that's not cool, you know, like, and so I'm like looking at her like, and she like trying not to panic. She calls for me to go to the emergency surgery, and so she brings me this paper like to sign, like so I don't sue the hospital for malpractice. And I'm like, I shouldn't have signed it, but basically what she was telling me was like, either you sign it and you get your surgery or you don't and you die. And I'm like, I really don't want to die, so I'm like, I have no choice but to sign the paper. I'm like, okay. So I signed the paper and I get, you know, they take me to the emergency room. The nurse, she's like putting like blankets on me because I'm like getting cold. And so they take me, they put me under and then they, you know, fix me. But now.
Just, you know, those sirens that you're hearing in the background, that's on the video where she's in Skid Row in Los Angeles. In MacArthur Park, which is just a big homeless drug area. It's not my house, just you know. I guess probably think I live in a war zone, but no, that's just the background of her where she is.
It's like now, like where I think I have like a hernia because where the incision where they try to fix it, but now I think I have a hernia because I think it got messed up or something. I don't know. Fucking, that was crazy. That was great. That was like, but the doctors in the ER, they were like really nice. They saved my life. But the other doctor, I'm like, I don't know about him. Like he either needs to get fired or something, because he's not very good with people, at all. Like he was like having like a bad day or something. Like just that's crazy. Right now, like I don't really have any fears. Like I think I've been through like enough to where like I could say like I seen 2 people die in front of me. He like he got stabbed, and then another one he got shot. So I've seen death, experienced death.
I'm sure.
I'm not scared of dying, but it's just like I'm scared of like leaving this earth and not doing nothing good, you know? Like my goal has always been to like you know, another country and go help, you know, people and stuff like that, you know, humanitarian work, because I mean I love doing that, you know. But like lately I just haven't been able to really do anything because I've been in this you know, area right here. So it's just like, I don't know. I think when I get myself out of here, I think that's when I'll be able to do better. Yeah.
What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Just no matter what bad happens to you, just never change who you are inside. You know, don't become that, you know, that evil. You know, just keep your wings. You know, like just don't stray. Don't, even if people do you wrong, still keep that, you know, good inside. You know, and like don't become that. You know, don't become what they are. You know, like
Right.
Because you can kill people with hatred, but you can also kill people with kindness, you know? And kindness is what kills the hatred in this world. Not hatred. Hatred just only causes more hate, you know? That's why like all these like wars and shit that happens, it's like, what are you fighting for? What are you, materialistic things that we're not gonna take with us when we pass away? That's ridiculous. Like, when I was a kid, I wanted to be president. President of the United States of America. I'm like, wow. I mean, it's possible that I could still like, you know, become that, but like maybe like in the background somehow. I don't know.
Anything is possible.
Very true. Yeah. I could like this one person, I met him on the train. He was running for governor, and in order to run for governor, all you have to do is get so many signatures, and you got a spot to, you know. And I was like, he was going on the trains, walking on the trains, getting signatures. I was like, I signed it. I was like, that's cool. I could do that too. I was like, that's cool.
I'd vote
I
for
gotta
you.
start somewhere, no?
You do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Melissa, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I wish you lots of luck out here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wish luck, honey. Please, United States of America, stop spending so much damn money, so much freaking money on killing, war, weapons, and can we use that money instead to support life? Is that possible? Is that such a horrible thing to think about? Say a prayer for the prayerless. Say a prayer for people like Melissa. She's going through it, man. That was a tough one. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. Let it begin with you. And we'll get back into some more of those. Those are hard to watch, but they're very important.